Hey, how's it going everybody? My name is Artorigold, and there is so much stuff to go over. I want to focus on the huge role queue announcement along with the PTR patch notes, but Sigma was also just announced as well. First off, on the PTR, they now have a role queue system that forces a 2 tank, 2 support, and 2 DPS for every team. They also now have a separate ranking system for each role. They have 5 placement games to do in each category, and there will also be a soft MMR reset once this hits live. The biggest thing about having this system is that team compositions and the meta will be drastically changed. Strategies such as quad DPS or GOATs will only be things of the past. There will also be a lot less players swapping off tank or healer to things like Symmetra to just throw the game if things are not going their way. The 2-2-2 meta is sure to be a lot different not only for us but also for the Overwatch League. Since GOATs will no longer exist, we will instead be seeing a lot more of double sniper, some dive, and probably a good amount of bunker. Along with the role queue, the patch notes have also done some pretty crazy things. First off, we had the global ultimate cost increased by 12%. This will make ultimates harder to get and a lot more valuable. A lot of heroes will be affected by this, especially heroes who want to combo their ultimates together. Ultimates that are usually harder to get because they require more charge, such as Lucio or Zarya, will notice a big difference in their gameplay. This will also change ult tracking, and it will be difficult to keep track of the enemy ultimate economy for a while until people get used to this change. Slowing effects will also no longer stack together and instead are separated, and the movement speed will be reduced depending on whichever slow is the strongest. This is going to be a great change for any tank players out there who are tired of being slowed by things like Mei and Symmetra. The slows won't stack anymore, so you will be able to move away and actually have a chance to fight back. As for the heroes, there are a lot of changes which are sure to make this new patch exciting as soon as it hits live. First off, we have Ashe, who had her reload time per round decreased. Reloading with Ashe is one of her biggest weaknesses since it takes so long, so having a small buff here can help her feel a lot better. But one of the biggest changes this patch was Brigitte, who had a huge overhaul, which to be honest is about time. She has been way too overpowered for so long. I am amazed that they haven't done this sooner. First off, they made her passive, Inspire, had the healing increased from 100 to 130, and made her self-healing halved. This will make it so Brig just can't heal herself so effectively, which has always been a huge problem with her kit. For a support hero, she has always had way too much survivability. Her E, Repair Pack, was also reworked. They gave it 3 charges, and instead of healing 150, it now heals only 120. It also is no longer an instant heal and instead heals over time. The instant heal has always been pretty strong. I know whenever I played DPS or tank and I tried to commit to an enemy who had low health, a single Brig heal would immediately turn the whole situation around, and it just felt really unfair. Now Brig's heal will be a little bit more balanced. Overall, it makes her feel more like an actual support and not some immortal DPS tank support hybrid. Luckily, the nerfs don't just stop there. They also reduced her barrier shield from 500 to 200. Her shield had always so much health, and it kind of felt kind of crazy being on a support hero. I mean, kind of just imagine a Zenyatta or an Ana having a 500 health barrier. It just seems really insane. They also reduced the stun duration on her bash by a tiny bit and made her ultimate cost more. Hopefully this puts Brig in a more balanced state because she has been broken and overpowered for way too long. The Brig playstyle should be a lot more like an actual support hero, and she seems way more vulnerable, so you shouldn't be able to just press W and be this unstoppable juggernaut capable of killing everything in your path. She will still provide a reliable stun that can help peel for the backline, but for the most part, I think Lucio will be better at that role. Hanzo has received a small nerf. His E, the storm arrows, had the ammo reduced from 6 to 5. His shield break and DPS overall has always been kind of insanely high. This should make him feel a little less powerful, but honestly, I don't think it will affect him very much. His DPS output is still very good, and Hanzo players really shouldn't be able to tell the difference. Reinhardt now has a new passive, Steadfast, which reduces knockback effects by 30%. This is a huge buff, and Reinhardt players have been suffering a lot lately because of all the ways enemies could take control of their hero away from them. This, along with the changes to the slow mechanics, will help Rein players out there make them able to actually fight back, instead of just being bullied all game by Sombras, Brigs, and Doomfists. Orisa saw a nerf to her E, making her shield have a 1 second increased cooldown. This is a good little nerf that can help punish Orisas who have bad shield placement or timing. Small changes like this will make good Orisas shine over bad Orisas. She will still make a strong hero when combined with a Roadhog, but this takes away some of her survivability. This can help make other tanks have a better chance at outplaying Orisa. Sombra got some huge nerfs, making her hack duration reduced from 6 seconds to 5, and her EMP activation time increased from 0.5 to 0.65 seconds. Sombra has always been really annoying. Disabling enemies so they can't do anything makes it a very easy setup for gigantic team wipes. In general, her hack makes you almost useless depending on what hero you are playing, and 6 seconds is just such a long time where you can't do anything. I'm glad that she is getting nerfed, and this should make Hammond and Doomfist players really happy. Sombra will still remain a really strong hero in Overwatch League just because she is so good with proper team coordination. However, these changes should make her weaker on the ladder. Tracer saw a small buff to her pulse bomb, increasing the damage from 300 to 350. This is a very small change that really only does one thing, and that's to make it so your pulse bomb can now finally one-shot bastions. It also helps kill people who might be buffed from Brig's armor. Overall, this will now open up some new strategies to dealing with the bunker strategy and help bring Tracer back a little bit into the meta. Wrecking Ball had some interesting changes where his mines were given increased projectile speed and making the deploy time quicker. All around, this makes his mines a lot quicker, but it spreads them out more. This can make it cover a wider area but deal less damage. It's an interesting change that should give him different options on when engaging with his ultimate. If he wants his ult to cover more area, he can activate it up really high. Or he can now choose to use his ultimate when lower to the ground, which will give it more power to a concentrated area. All around, there are a lot of changes coming to Overwatch, and I am really excited to see how the meta is going to change. I'm hoping Dive makes a comeback personally, but I imagine Bunker will still be a very powerful comp. In general, a lot of changes were made that reduce the effectiveness of CC abilities. Buffs were given to tanks like Reinhardt so they can have a much easier time, and if you are a main tank player, you will be pretty happy with this patch. That's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.